Hi, I'm Pattu from freefincal. On this video, let's take a look at the daily returns of Sensex and its monthly returns and try and fool around with it. I don't have any great message or great result to convey in this story, in this video, sorry. Sometimes I fool around like this. Sometimes I get something interesting. Sometimes I don't. I leave it to you whether I've got something interesting or not. Let's get into it. So what I've shown here in the blue line is the Sensex in log scale, and the dots they are at some level of 1 that tell you from April 1979 I've considered 14-day intervals, that is 14 business days. I've just rolled around that window of 14 business days, moved it around by one, rolled it over 1 day over. So if I take any 14 business days, how many times the within that 14-day period, that is 14 business day periods, the Sensex returns were this is positive. So in this case it's positive. So I have said number is 10. So I'm looking for the number of instances in that 14-day window the daily returns were positive, and I've set it at 10. So those black dots tell you the number of times over a 2-week window, over a trading window, business days, the daily returns in that window were continuously positive. That is you got more than so out of what I mean by continuously positive is out of 14 traded days, 10 of them were positive. That's a winning streak, right? That's we'll call that as a winning streak. If 10 of them were negative, we will call it as a losing streak. So that's 10. We will make it 11 now, and you can see that the number of dots have come down. That's the so 11 out of 14 days positive returns. Then we will make it 12. Then it's come down, but it's still quite significant. There are significant number of times where there has been a nice bull run over a 14-day period, 14 business days. 12 of them were positive returns. So that's quite interesting. Now we'll make it 13. And then it drops down to immediately drops down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 times. And you can see the last one was somewhere around the 2013 period. Then after the recovery of 2008, sometime during the last bull run and so on. That's it. And then if you make it 14, there's nothing. That's it. So we have never had a complete 100% winning streak over a 14-day period. This is the maximum. So the almost like 8 times. 8 times is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. 9 times in the past. 13 out of 14 days has been positive, and the last one was in 2013. Let's now try and do it for negative returns and see what happens. So for the negative returns, I have to push this into the next scale, I think. Again, up to 10 days, you should be able to get a lot of periods. So this means number of times 10 out of 14 days were negative, continuously negative. That's a losing streak. And then you have 11. Then you still have there are so many instances where 11 out of 14 days ended up as negative returns. So you got to get used to that kind of volatility. And that's 12. Then it becomes a little sparse. 13. And that's just 2. 14 is 0. So twice in the past, 13 out of 14 days have been continuously negative. That's the longest losing streak with respect to daily returns for the Sensex. There's one just before the start of the big bull run in the I think in the post .com crisis time, and then there was a big dip in the 2013 period. That was a time when members in Asana Ideas Wealth started panicking during this small dip here. And that was a time again when it had a big losing streak. Now let's do this in terms of monthly returns. So let me make this bigger. I hope I'm trying to make some sense for you. I don't know. So the number of times, number of negative months. I'm looking at monthly returns now. That's the total number of times when 1 month was negative. Obviously, that's a lot. 2 continuous months negative. That's that one. 3 continuous months negative. Still quite a bit of time. I mean, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I hope I got that right. 21 times the over a continuous 3 month period, the Sensex gave negative monthly returns, and four continuous 4 months negative monthly returns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And let's just do a little bit of filtering so that you don't get bothered with the data. Let's make it 5. Yes. So now if you look at uh, continuous 5 months of negative returns, it has never happened other than in the 90s and the 80s, which is quite interesting. Four has happened once. Yeah, so 4 has happened once. I told you Asan Ideas, members in Asan Ideas Wealth panicked. That happened here. 4 month of a losing streak, negative return, negative return, negative return, negative return, continuously again and again, and so on. So that's what's uh, that's losing streak of the Sensex over the I think we can do it over positive returns as well, but I just got bored doing this. So that's what I wanted to do in this video. I want to fool around with this. You can't make much inference of it, but if you look at this, it helps you understand volatility. It helps you understand what is it you must do to ride through a period where you don't get any returns. So that's what I wanted to say. If you want, I can do a full post with this with positive returns as well. But I mean, it's not going to be too exciting anyway. But let me see if I can make a post of it. So if you have any comments on this, please share. There have been some comments in the previous video, some with some questions. I'll get to it soon. So that's what I want to say here. Let's catch you later. Bye.